I'm going to waste no time today. Could Israel have been involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? No, according to the ex-Mossad chief.
Is Mossad responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk?
Absolutely not. I mean, we have nothing to do with it. Mossad is not doing this kind of stuff. We're not involved in political assassinations. We never were.
Never involved in any assassination. Well, what the hell is this? List of Israeli assassinations dating back to the 1950s. And wow. Okay. As you can see here, the rap sheet is extremely long. Still going. Wow. So then you have to ask yourself, why would they lie about something that could be so easily fact-checked? Okay, over the past week, Netanyahu has posted not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times, A, denying that Israel had anything to do with the death of Charlie Kirk, and B, about how much Charlie Kirk loved Israel and how much Israel loved Charlie. So how could people possibly think they were involved?
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel.
Anybody buy that? And also, I just want to point out, and this is according to FBI data, the vast majority of homicides are perpetrated by intimate partners, family, and people known to the victim. In this case, maybe a former lover who has now perhaps betrayed them.
Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies. Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. So maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben, in your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be, and how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing? The way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite.
It's been so unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do. And that's really, really weird, isn't it, Megan?
The thing everybody needs to understand about Charlie Kirk is that he became a giant because of Zionist money, the money that funded his organization, Turning Point USA, since he was 18 years old. And now he's showing some signs of turning against the very people who made him into that powerhouse. And you don't do that against the mob and live to tell the tale. Charlie Kirk faced pressure from Bill Ackman and Seth Dillon to visit Israel. Quote, conservative influencer and podcaster Candace Owens has alleged that billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman pressured Charlie Kirk to visit Israel just weeks before Kirk's tragic death on September 10th. Owens revealed that Ackman, Kirk, and Seth Dillon, the CEO of Babylon Bee, shared an intense lunch meeting in the Hamptons. Owens claimed that during this meeting, quote, threats were made as part of a high-pressure intervention involving Ackman. She further suggested that Kirk was experiencing a change of heart regarding Israel and had even been contacted by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Quote, I know that Charlie was offered a significant amount of money during that time. A ton of money, Owens stated.
Spend tons of money. And Turning Point, I guess, if it needed to go to a higher level, would have gone to an even higher level than it already was at. And I know for a fact that Charlie denied that funding, that Charlie denied, and what Bibi didn't include there, he declined to go to Israel.
I have to say, it takes courage to say no to tens, perhaps hundreds of millions of dollars. And the other thing that people have to understand about Charlie Kirk is the immense power he had, specifically through his organization, Turning Point USA. It's not just a podcast or a media company. It's a nationwide turn out the vote operation, okay? Charlie Kirk had been widely credited with helping Trump gain significant ground with young voters that won him the last election. But what would happen if he were to turn those young voters against Israel?
Ted Cruz uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse. Do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this? Raise your hand. Okay.
I think Ted Cruz used Genesis 12:3. I think a lot of people see that as off-putting when you look at the New Testament.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people, they look especially at the writings of Paul, where he talks about how the new flesh is not the same as the people in the old covenant. The new flesh is everybody, is everyone's included.
Talking about Romans 9.
Yes, 9:6, yeah.
Are you Catholic?
Converted to Catholic from Judaism.
I can tell.
This is my next
Oh,
slide.
from Judaism?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're ethnically Jewish.
Ethnically Jewish, yes.
And you have concerns about AIPAC.
Yes, I do.
I'm told that by some people that if I criticize AIPAC, I'm anti-Semitic.
I think it's ridiculous, yeah. I feel like it's great to have a concern for your country.
The entirety of the idea of a PAC is to represent a group, but the fact that we're allowing a group that doesn't even represent American interests to influence the people who are supposed to be representing us, I have a huge problem with.
You can see it. This is what Israel's up against. Their survival is on the line. But I hear people, James, where is the evidence? I get the motive. Now show me the evidence. Okay, let me show you.
No matter what side of the political aisle you're on, we lost something important in America today. But the case goes on, the investigation goes on. There's a lot of piecing of evidence together. We don't have a shooter tonight. We have a couple leads, a couple people that were released that probably aren't the shooter. There's a couple hot leads. There's a little bit of foreign intelligence.
Sorry, what? A little bit of foreign intelligence. Why? If the shooter is some crazed radical leftist lunatic, why would there be any foreign intelligence at all? Well, check this out. Scoop. Got a tip last night that I was able to verify with someone inside the admin that the NSA detected 12 Israeli registered cell phones at the site of the shooting last Wednesday. The NSA picked the data up and handed it over to federal law enforcement officials who passed it along to the White House. My source said those in the administration with this info are, quote, really freaked out. Listen to that. The White House is scared of Israel. Why? Could it be that the Secret Service had caught Israeli government personnel placing electronic devices on its emergency vehicles on 2 separate occasions last year? This is supposed to be our quote-unquote greatest ally. Harrison Smith. I don't know who needs to hear this again, but the person who blamed Charlie Kirk's murder on Israel was Charlie Kirk. And this was a tweet from August 13th, 2025, quote, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. This was a month before the murder. The Trump White House is scared of Israel. Charlie Kirk is scared of Israel. What the hell is going on here? Now let's go to more reporting, this one from Ron Unz, a longtime conservative writer and publisher. Quote, earlier this year, I'd published an article summarizing Israel's long history of high-profile political assassinations, a record unmatched in all of world history. And this particular incident certainly fit very well into that pattern. Therefore, a few hours after hearing of Kirk's death, I very gingerly raised these possibilities with someone well situated in conservative circles who personally knew Kirk and was shocked by his response. He unequivocally told me that everyone in Kirk's circle, even including important Trump administration officials, suspected that Israel had probably killed the young conservative leader. I actually spoke to someone who confirmed that a high-ranking senator on the Senate Foreign Intelligence Committee privately speculated that Israel might have had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death, which, regardless of whether they did it or not, is insane that they're even thinking that's a possibility, considering that, once again, they are our greatest ally and we give them hundreds of billions of dollars.
We're also concerned about where we're being taken in this country with the violence, with the social unrest. We're all being pitted against each other by murky forces. It seems like whatever happened here, the killer's identity and politics has already been determined, and Ted Cruz, one of the biggest assets for the Israel lobby in the Senate, just went out in his oversight hearing with Kash Patel, the FBI director, and said, we have to go after this killing, we have to go after Palestine activism in this country and shut it down. What did Palestinians have to do with this, or Palestine activism? It's like the narrative is already prefabricated.
And that's why I'm told by DOJ sources that they know it's crazy trans people, at least on the surface, but they're being told go away from that. It's wild. So now we have the administration, not Trump, but his people literally trying to steer it, because that's the talking point Netanyahu put out before Kirk's body had even, gotten cold.
John Ratcliffe, when he was isolated with Donald Trump to basically feed Donald Trump Mossad talking points, including about phony, fabricated WMD propaganda about the Houthis about to get a nuclear weapon from Iran if he didn't strike. He was isolated by Susie Wiles, the chief of staff. And who is Susie Wiles? Subsequent to my report at the Gray Zone citing a inside White House source, a Trump official, we learned that Susie Wiles had actually went to Israel to work for Benjamin Netanyahu on his 2020 re-election campaign. How crazy is that? America first, and your chief of staff literally worked for a foreign leader? What's going on here? I mean, that's what we're unmasking, is the biggest foreign influence infiltration operation in American history that is basically taking control of an administration that says it's America first and is taking us to a very dangerous place.
Wow, you can see how big a can of worms this is, a modern Pandora's box, if you will, that if open would change the entire Western world order. So how about we pin it on Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old who had been radicalized by leftist trans ideology? That works a little bit better, don't you think? Maybe I'm the crazy one, right? Maybe it was just a simple lone gunman. And to explore that a little bit more, I want you to pay very close attention, not just to the evidence that the FBI did release, but what they chose not to release, right? We have photos of him. They released it. They also released text messages that had it all, motive, premeditation, the weapon he used, mention of engravings on the casing, all quite convenient, except it was written in Old English. Something else they released, the CCTV footage of the alleged shooter, Robinson, sprinting across the rooftop to escape. But you know what they didn't show was the shot itself. This corner, the top corner, which is visible from the CCTV camera, is where Robinson supposedly took the shot from. So why not rewind the tape by 5 or 10 seconds, show him in that prone position, taking the shot, then getting up and then running across the rooftop? Wouldn't that put this whole thing to bed?
Okay, I want to start off this video by telling you that I think that this was a professional hit team that was going to take out Charlie Kirk. And I want to show you, I think I can prove this, that we had 3 different shooters on 3 different roofs, or we at least had 2 different shooters on multiple roofs, because I don't think you could be in all 3 locations at the same time. So I want to show you what I'm seeing, and then you guys let me know what you think. Okay, this is the Woodbury building. Now watch, we'll scrub back to the beginning, where you see the shooter over here on the roof. They catch him right there in the corner. That's the little guy right there on the roof. This is 12:06 p.m. Now the next video I want to show you is this one. That says the Sparks building, and we got a shooter up there. Now the next building we got, and you can tell by the shape and everything, this is the video that the FBI shared with us, time-stamped at 12:23. Okay, so you have a man running on this roof, moving around on this roof. They're seeing, so he's obviously trying to be on probably the edge of that building. We'd have to figure out where that sign is, where you can actually see, and I believe this was the area right in here. Okay, if that sign is on the front of that building, then this is the edge of the roof where this gentleman was at. Now they're telling us that Tyler took the shot right here at 12:23. So somehow this man would have to have gotten down off this roof, went all the way down over here, and got up onto this walkway again to climb back up onto this roof. Now 17 minutes is plenty of time, okay? Now this, I think, is the man who took the shot. Now what I want to point out is it's the Sparks building. So where at, because this man is in this prone position. He's the only person that we see on a roof in a prone position. He's on this building right here. And I think he's right there. And why? So look at these circles right here, right? You can see those circles in the pavement. And watch this. See those circles right there? That's that brown circle. That's that brown circle. That's these circles right here, I think, is the man who took the shot.
I'm not sure how you reacted to that, but I just want to remind everybody that it is this FBI that said Jeffrey Epstein never trafficked any young girls to anyone.
You've seen most of the files. who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information, none, that he trafficked to other individuals.
Preposterous. So ask yourself this question. Are they not being transparent because the investigation is ongoing, quote unquote, which is what a lot of people are saying as an excuse, except for the fact that they did, release a bunch of other shoddy evidence to try to convince the public to move on from the story? Or are they doing all this because there is a person, an organization, an operation, perhaps a foreign country that they're trying to protect? My name is James Lee. This is the 5149 Show. Who do you think is behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Was it Tyler Robinson? If so, was he acting alone? Did he have help? Or was this perhaps a grand conspiracy? You let me know down in the comment section below. If you want to support my work, my journalism, please take a second to like this video, share it with your friends and family, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It would help me a lot. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next one.
Kash Patel, the American people want to know, how does it feel to be a cuck for Israel? Answer the question.
We're seeing and hearing what the FBI is doing on a daily basis.
You're claiming to serve the American people. You're serving Israel. Does it feel to be Israel's bitch? You don't care about kids getting raped. The American people want to know.
He's a patriot.
Patriot?
He's a patriot.
Rape kids? Is patriotism to you?
Thank you for your service,
Kids?
You're an idiot.
I'm an idiot? Really?
Yes, you are. I didn't say anything.